Hello students, welcome you all to this session. So in the previous session we had started with the chapter called as Heredity and Evolution of class 10th science part, that is under biology part. We have started a chapter called as Heredity and Evolution of part 2. Okay, so we had discussed about heredity in the previous class. Heredity, meaning of heredity is, it is the transmission of characters from one generation to another generation. As I told you, it is a branch of genetics, or it comes under genetics. That is, genetics is the study of heredity and variations. Heredity means the transmission of characters or transfer of characters from one generation to another generation, or we are transferring our characters to our offsprings and we are getting the characters from our ancestors. So it goes on generation to generation. It's called heredity. Now, what do you mean variation? Variation means changes. It is very important in an organism because in reproduction there are two types, sexual and asexual reproduction. In asexual reproduction there is no variation because the offsprings produced are exactly similar to their parents. There is no variation, but variation plays a very important role in sexual reproduction. We have all seen that, and we also saw about some concepts like dominance, recessive, monohybrid cross, dihybrid cross, phenotypic ratio, genotypic ratio, incomplete dominance, sex determination in human beings, etc. Now we will study another part of this chapter called as evolution. First part is heredity, we already completed in the first session. In today's session we are going to discuss about a concept called as evolution. What do you mean by the term evolution? Before going to the meaning and definition of evolution, we had seen in heredity there is transmission of characters from one generation to another generation. Now the examples we will take here. For example, this is the first generation. Okay, then comes second generation, then comes third generation. So what happening here? Characters are transmitting from one generation to another generation. So here the characters of this first generation are transmitted to the next generation, as well as the characters are acquiring from outside also. Again from here also again the characters are transmitted. Again in second generation from outside the organisms are acquiring the characters. Similar again in third generation these are character transferring, as well as from outside or the acquired characters coming from the environment. So this process continues. We'll take an example. Up to 5,000 generations have taken place. How many generations? 5,000. Just imagine, first generation, second, third, fourth, fifth, up till 5,000 generations. Then what will be the variation? What is the level of variation here? The frequency of variation is more and more. So what are the characters present in the first generation are not there in the generation of this 5,000 generation. So many changes have taken place in the organisms. The organisms of this generation are totally different from the generation which are present here. So there is lot of changes, variations taking place here. So here some changes are taking place here from first generation to second. Again from here till here again there are some variations occurring because some acquired characters are there, some inherited characters are there. Inherited means we are acquiring it from our parents are called inherited traits, and the traits which are acquiring from our environment are called as acquired traits. About this we will study bit later at the end of this session. So some characters are transferring generation to generation, some are transferring from outside. So first, second, third, fourth, thousands of variations are taking place after thousands of generation. For example, 5,000 of generation have passed. We take an example then. So what characters are present in that generation are not present in this generation. So lot of variation has taken place, and there is lot of time gap also. So this is called as evolution. Slow and gradual process is called as evolution. So it is a big difference here. Big difference you can see. What big difference? In what it is big difference? In terms of the traits or the characters. Trait. What traits are present in the first generation are not present in these generations, because there is lot of gap between these generations. Lot of time has passed between these generations. Where is first generation and the 5,000 generation? So the slow and gradual process taking place in the environment is called as the Evolution. So what is evolution? Evolution is a slow and gradual process. Father of evolution is Charles Darwin. So he proposed the concept of evolution, evolving, how the organisms evolved, what the relationship they're having with their ancestors, about environment, etc. So this is about the concept of evolution in brief. So generation of generation, we have seen heredity. We have seen the concept of heredity. The transmission of characters are transmitting from one generation to another generation. But this is a short period of time. One generation, second, third, fourth, fifth is a short period of generation. But if you compare these characters with the list generation up to 5,000 generations, then there is lot of big, huge difference. That is called as evolution. Means slow and gradual, very, very slow process, gradual process taking place in the evolution. In the environment, in the development of an organism is called as evolution. So evolution is a slow and gradual process. Slow and gradual process, you can say in short. Definitions and meanings will be given in your textbook, you can go to later. But here, see children, understanding the concept is very, very important. If you go on reading the book, you will not understand, but you should understand the process, understand the concept, then only you will come to know what's happening actually in the nature, how scientists have studied these in detail. Okay, now we'll see some of the different concepts like speciation. I'll write here only. Okay. First is speciation. Speciation, as the name indicates, what comes to your mind? Species. So species is the basic unit of classification. When you classify the organisms in taxonomy, highest category is kingdom, then phylum, class, order, family, genus and species. Species is the basic unit of classification. But if you want to define species, species are a group of organisms which interbreed among themselves to give fertile offsprings. Kannada jati anta karitare. We are one species, animals are one species, birds are one species. Species means jati. Kannadalli jati anta karitare species ge. So it is a group of organisms which interbreed among themselves to give fertile offspring is called as a species. And what is the meaning of speciation? Speciation is the process of formation of new species. It is a process of formation of new species from older ones. It is the process of formation of new species from older ones. Obviously from older ones when new species are formed through reproduction. We have seen that in heredity. So what is speciation? It is the process of formation of new species from older ones. If you want, you can write from older ones. Older ones is obviously is called as speciation. How new species are formed? There are some factors are there. We will see those one by one. First is by geographical isolation. By geographical isolation. Isolation means separation. Geography means surrounding area. About the land we study, we call geography. Geographical isolation. Now we will take an example of a big forest here. Okay, just go on, see the diagrams here. There is a huge forest will take. Okay, forest means what are there here? Large number of trees are there, right? Mango trees there, banyan trees are there, coconut trees there. Okay, huge. If we take example of any forest, big trees are there, small shrubs are there. Okay, large number of trees are there, huge forest is there. Okay, now and due to time of evolution, what happens? There is formation of a river here. Okay, this is the river. So example, this is the forest, and we imagine that some beetles are staying here. Not only beetles, many organisms are there in the forest, but we take an example of some beetles which are eating those leaves, eating those fruits from the trees. They are surviving in this forest. They are enjoying their life. Just for example I am telling you. So what these organisms do? They feed on the leaves of these trees. The leaves are there, fruits are there, flowers are there. They are feeding on those trees and they are enjoying their life and they are reproducing also. Okay, reproducing or mating, you can say, enjoying in the forest. That is going on from generation to generation since the time of evolution. So the huge number of trees are there, plants are there, animals are there. They interbreed among themselves, mating among themselves, reproducing, producing the next generation. That process is going on from time to time. Now what happens after some years or some time, there is formation of a river. Suddenly the river forms. There is partition in the forest, a huge forest is there, and there is formation of river in between. Okay, you imagine that this is a river. Now what happens? These two populations are being divided now. The forest has been divided. Now the beetle from this population cannot go to that population. They never go there. It's impossible for these beetles to pass this river and go to the another side because there is a huge big river is there. Large river is there. So they cannot move from this area to this area. Excuse me. So and even these also, these beetles cannot come from this area to this area. So these beetles, these remain in this population, those beetles remain in that population only, and whatever is available to them, they mate among themselves only. They mate among themselves, produce new generations, and so this continues from generation to generation. Because these beetles cannot meet, earlier they were meeting, but due to some geographical isolation, this is the geographical isolation. Isolation means a barrier in between. What has come here as a barrier here? A river has come in between. A river is formed here suddenly in the forest, a huge forest. So the beetles from this forest cannot pass through this river, or neither these beetles can come this side. So these side beetles remain here only and those beetles remain in that area only. From years together they continued their generation. They never met. They only reproduced within the species. Within the species only they mated. That is called as speciation. Formation of new species are formed by geographical isolation. So whatever characters were there, they passed to next generation to generation. That is called genetic drift, it is called as. So they never met. They met among themselves only and produced a new generation. Two subpopulations are formed. How many? Two subpopulations. Now this beetle, this formed one population. This is one population and this formed the another population. Two subpopulations are formed here. Why they called subpopulation? Because they are not meeting with these, they are not interchanging, they are not crossing with each other. These beetles are remaining in one population, these beetles are remaining in one other population. They could never meet, they never meet in their life, and they are being isolated or separated by river, or can say geographical isolation, by taking a river as an example. Okay, next is natural selection. Another example is here, concept of natural selection. Okay, what do you mean by natural selection? Nature is selecting. So here I will rub this. So this was an example of geographical isolation. Now we will see natural selection by taking the examples of beetles as it is given in your book. The examples of beetles. Okay. So there is one population. Okay. There are 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12 beetles are there. Which are these? These are red beetles are there. How many? 12 red beetles are there. Okay. These are living in a forest or in a particular area, enjoying their life, mating, reproducing. For example, I am telling you. Okay. So they are living in the forest or in a particular area they are living. Okay. Now, by chance, characters are transferring from one generation to another generation. So many generations passed, and suddenly by chance in one generation, in one of the generation, there is formation of green beetle here. green beetle appears. Due to some reasons, due to some mutations in their body, green beetle appears in one generation. So there are 12 red beetles in this generation. So what happens? Due to some reason or mutation, suddenly by chance one green beetle is formed here. The offspring produced by the red beetle was one of the green beetle, but the population of red is more compared to green. So red beetles are 99.9% red beetles. Only 0.1% you will get only green beetles. Now again what happens? These green beetles again they in turn reproduce and produce green beetles, but the number will be less of green compared to red. Now these green beetles, how they survived, what is the advantage they got? See, children, they are living on the trees. Okay, tree leaves are green in color. Now if there is green leaf and on that if there is a green beetle, could the prey or the crows identify that? No, because leaf is also green in color, beetle also is green in color, so they could not identify. So that was the advantage they got from the nature. That is naturally selected. We are not selecting that. That is naturally nature selected that type of character, which became an advantage for those green beetles. And the one which were caught by the prey or the crows were the red beetle, because on the green leaf, red beetle would easily identified by the crows, but green colored beetle would not identified by the crow or any animal or any prey. So these survived. This became an advantage for those green beetles. Okay, so green beetle started to survive, they reproduced, used the resources available in nature, but number was less compared to red, but they had an advantage. What advantage they got from nature is their color. There is no particular gene for green color. By chance it would be blue also, it would be different color also, but by chance the beetle produced was green in color, which became an advantage for itself from the protection, from the protecting itself from the prey or the predators or the crow. And how this is how the green beetles survived and reproduced and produced more number of green beetles. Okay, this happened. Next what happens? Again, after some generations, there appears one more colored beetle called as blue. Blue beetles are formed. Again, so see children, this evolution concept is such that just there is randomly here and there due to environmental conditions, changes are taking place here and there. It is not a particular process, you can say. It is not a process. It goes on happening in the environment, adapting to the nature, how we are acquiring the characters, how organisms are acquiring, how we are responding to it. That is very, very important. So evolution ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಹೀಗೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಹೀಗೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ ನಮಗೆ. ಸೊ ಎನ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ತಕ್ಕಂಗೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅದರ ತಕ್ಕಂಗೆ ಪ್ರಾಣಿಗಳು, ಪಕ್ಷಿಗಳು ಅಥವಾ ನಾವು ಮನುಷ್ಯರು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೊಂದ್ಕೋತಾ ಹೋಗಬೇಕು. ಅದರ ನಮ್ಮ ಬಾಡಿ ಏನು ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದು ತಾನೇ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಎವಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಸ್ಲೋ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಗ್ರ್ಯಾಜುವಲ್ ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸ್ ಆಕರಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ದ environment. We can't assume it just goes on happening generation to generation. Now in the next after this green beetles reproduced, again there comes one more colored beetle called as blue colored beetle. Blue colored beetle. So blue color also easily identified by the prey. Advantage was only for the green colored beetle. It is by chance it is. By chance the nature has selected these green beetles to survive in the life or the earth, you can say. Now here comes some blue beetle. These also in turn they reproduce and produce more number of blue beetles along with these red beetles. Blue beetles are also producing. Okay, now just to think that these all beetles are going for a party. Just imagine, I'm bringing a story here. Okay, they are going for a party. Where they are going for the party? Which party they are going to? They are going for New Year party. Just assume, okay, they are going for New Year party. All beetles are going. Okay, then what happens? There comes an elephant. Okay, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಬೀಟಲ್ಸ್ಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಹೋಗ್ತಿರ್ತವೆ, ಪಾರ್ಟಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ರೆಡ್ಡು, ಗ್ರೀನು, ಬ್ಲೂ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಪಾರ್ಟಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಆವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ಒಂದು ಟ್ರ್ಯಾಜಿಡಿ ಆಗಿಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ ಅವ್ರ ಜೊತೆ. ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ದೇರ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್ ಎನ್ ಎಲಿಫೆಂಟ್. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಬೈ ಚಾನ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ನೇಚರ್. ನಾನು ಅದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡು ನಿಮಗೆ ತಿಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಇಟ್. ದೇರ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್ ಎನ್ ಎಲಿಫೆಂಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಅವ್ರು ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸಡನ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಎಲಿಫೆಂಟ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಅವಾಗೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, by the elephant ಕಾಲು ತುಂಬ ದಪ್ಪ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಜಸ್ಟ್ he will put its feet on these beetles. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆನೆ ಕಾಲು ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಈ ಬೀಟಲ್ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಬಿದ್ದುಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ದ ಫೀಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಲಿಫೆಂಟ್, and if feet is so fat, so big, so ಅದು ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಕಾಲಿಟ್ಟ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಏನಾಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ, ಬೀಟಲ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸತ್ತೋಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಮೆಜಾರಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ದ ಬೀಟಲ್ಸ್ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಸತ್ತಿರೋದು ಯಾವುದು, ಬ್ಲೂ ಬೀಟಲ್ಸ್. ಬೈ ಚಾನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ದಿಸ್ ಬೈ ಚಾನ್ಸ್, ಬೈ ದ ಫೀಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಲಿಫೆಂಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಬ್ಲೂ ಬೀಟಲ್ಸ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ದೇ ಆಲ್ ಡೈ. ವಾಟ್ ರಿಮೈನ್ಡ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಈಸ್ ಅಗೇನ್ the red and green colored beetles are remaining, which are transmitting the characters from one generation to another generation. ಅಂದರೆ ಬೈ ಚಾನ್ಸ್ ಆಗೋಯಿತು, ಬೈ ಚಾನ್ಸ್ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಬ್ಲೂ ಬೀಟಲ್ಸ್ ಸತ್ತೋಯ್ತು. 1 or 2 remained, again they producing red, green, that is secondary. ಉಳಿದಿರೋದು ಯಾವುದು, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಗ್ರೀನ್ ಉಳಿತು, ರೆಡ್ ಉಳಿದಿದೆ, ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಕಡೆ ಉಳಿದಿದೆ ರಿಮೈನಿಂಗ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಮೆಜಾರಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ದ ಬ್ಲೂ ಬೀಟಲ್ಸ್ ಡೈಡ್ ಡ್ಯೂ ಟು ದ ಫೀಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಲಿಫೆಂಟ್. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಬೈ ಚಾನ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ನಾಟ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಬ್ಲೂ ಬೀಟಲ್ಸ್, but it is a chance concept, as I told you. By chance what happened here, blue beetles died. So this is how, and what remaining they are passing to the generation to generation. Whatever remained, they will again reproduce their progeny and offsprings and get new generation. Okay, so this is about natural selection, and this is the artificial selection. Now we will see, sorry, this is the natural selection. Now we will see a concept of artificial selection. See children, this is geographical isolation also is natural. Naturally a river was formed, and how 2 subpopulations were formed, how the organisms separated and they formed 2 subpopulations. Next coming to natural selection. Natural means naturally. ಸಿ ಆನೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅದು ನಾನು ಬ್ಲೂ ಬೀಟಲ್ನ ಕಾಲಿಡಬೇಕು, ಗ್ರೀನ್ ಬೀಟಲ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಕಾಲಿಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಬೈ ಚಾನ್ಸ್, ನ್ಯಾಚುರಲಿ ನೇಚರ್ ಏನೇನು ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ನೇಚರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಸ್ಪೀಷೀಸ್ ಉಳಿತಾ ಇದೆ, ಯಾವ ಸ್ಪೀಷೀಸ್ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಅದು ನಾವು ಸಿಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ನೇಚರ್ ಈಸ್ ಸಿಲೆಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವಿಚ್ ಆರ್ ರಿಮೈನಿಂಗ್ ದೇ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ದ ನ್ಯೂ ಜನರೇಷನ್. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದ ನ್ಯಾಚುರಲ್ ಸಿಲೆಕ್ಷನ್. ನೌ ವಿಲ್ ಸಿ ಆರ್ಟಿಫಿಷಿಯಲ್ ಸಿಲೆಕ್ಷನ್. Now we'll see artificial selection. ಆರ್ಟಿಫಿಷಿಯಲ್ ಮ್ಯಾನ್ ಮೇಡ್, ಇದು ನಾವು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು. ಆರ್ಟಿಫಿಷಿಯಲ್ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಮ್ಯಾನ್ ಮೇಡ್, ನ್ಯಾಚುರಲ್ ಈಸ್ ಅಕರಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ನೇಚರ್. Artificial means we are doing it, what characters we want in the organism, in a plant or animal, we are crossing those plants. We'll take an example of wild cabbage. Long back there was a species called as wild cabbage ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿತ್ತು, ಪ್ಲ್ಯಾಂಟ್ ಇತ್ತು. ಯಾವುದು, wild cabbage, which with large leaves were there. ಈ ಥರ example, this is a wild cabbage. Okay, wild cabbage, and these again gave rise to different species of cabbages. This wild cabbage in turn produces different species of cabbages, that is cauliflower produce ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿಂದ. Again some produced red cabbage also, red cabbage, kohlrabi, they are used as food. Then comes kale, then comes broccoli, etc. So 5 again different species of these cabbages, varieties of cabbages and cauliflower are produced from this wild cabbage. So this is the artificial selection. Artificial andre man made, we are producing the next generations by crossing different species and producing different varieties of cabbages. So from wild cabbage he produced cauliflower, from cauliflower again red cabbage, again kohlrabi, kale, broccoli. The different varieties of cabbages produced which are originated from this wild cabbage, that is called as artificial selection. Okay, ಮತ್ತೇನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಬುಕ್ಕಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತಂದರೆ genetic drift it is called as. Next one, next concept is genetic drift. So as we had seen, there is different populations due to geographical isolation or the river, the 2 beetle population has been separated. Different species of cabbages are produced from wild cabbage, means they are originated from the wild cabbage like cauliflower, red cabbage, kohlrabi, kale, broccoli, etc. So this is about the artificial selection. Okay, Now we'll come to genetic drift. As the previous of this, we are drawn a diagram of forest showing you the different population of beetles, how they were separated from genetic, or you can say geographical isolation. Okay, there was a river, how they were separated from river by geographical isolation. What happened? So whatever genes or the beetles remained in this population, some remained in this population. So these genes were followed in the next generation. Means these genes have followed to this generation, these and this generation. They never met each other. That is called a genetic drift. The frequency of the genes, the frequency of genes continued from generation to generation by sampling. So here see, characters are transmitted from one generation to another generation. The frequency of genes, at what frequency the genes are being transferred from one generation to another generation is called as genetic drift. So as I told you earlier in the beginning, first generation, second, third. What about the frequency of the variation? There is a huge frequency of variation, because if you compare to first generation till 5000 generations, so many variations have taken place in an organism. The organism totally changed since the time of evolution due to some character, some nature, weather, climate, food habits, etc. So many changes have acquired in the environment. What are the characters present here, not present in this generation? Because there are a lot of variations, huge, big gap is there between those generations. That is called as the genetic drift or evolution of the gene concept. Next we'll go to acquired and inherited traits. Next one, acquired and, so children, it's a very interesting concept. If you understand it, you have to understand here just the concept. It is very, very important. Okay, next one, acquired and inherited traits. See children, as I told you, meaning of trait in genetics. Trait means character. Okay. Acquired and inherited. First we will come to inherited traits. Now the characters which are transmitting from parents to the next generation, to the children, are called as inherited traits, like our hair color, skin color, eye color, body nature, character. It all depends coming from our parents to us. That is called as inherited traits. The traits which are transferring from parents to the children or the offspring is called as the inherited. By birth we have got those characters from our parents, is called as inherited trait or inherited character. What do you mean by acquired? Acquired characters are the one which we are acquiring from our environment, like building up of body, building up of muscles, gaining knowledge, reading more. That is acquired characters, not inherited. Okay, so inherited characters ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅಂತ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಗಳು ನಮ್ಮ ಬಾಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮೊದಲನೇ ಬಂದಿರುತ್ತೆ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸ್. ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಇನ್ಹೆರಿಟೆಡ್. ಅಕ್ವೈರ್ಡ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಓದೋದು, ಬರೆಯೋದು, ನಾಲೆಜ್ನ ಗೇನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಬಾಡಿ ಬಿಲ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಮಸಲ್ಸ್ನ ಬಿಲ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡೋದು. ಸೊ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಅಕ್ವೈರ್ಡ್, ನಾಟ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಬೈ ಬರ್ತ್. ವಿ ಆರ್ ಅಕ್ವೈರಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಔಟ್ಸೈಡ್ ಇನ್ our ಬಾಡಿ ಫಾರ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ದೇ ಆರ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ acquired characters. So inherited and acquired characters. Okay, next concept is very, very important. Homologous and analogous organs. The word may be new to you, but it is very, very important. Questions ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ topic ಮೇಲೆ. Homologous and analogous organs. If you go to second PUC or again in PUC we study about this homologous analogous in detail with examples. Okay, homologous ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ the organisms or animals having same origin. See, same origin but different function. ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೇಮ್ ಒರಿಜಿನ್ ಬಟ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್. ಒರಿಜಿನ್ ಒಂದೇ ಇದೆ ಬಟ್ ಅದರ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ವಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಬರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಆರ್ ಫೋರ್ ಲಿಮ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಮ್ಯಾನ್. ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸೇ. ಹೇಗಂತಂದರೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ನಿಮಗೆ. ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, wings of birds. So you know birds have two pairs of limbs, 4 limbs and hind limbs. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ಡ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ 4 limbs ಆರ್ ಮಾಡಿಫೈಡ್ ಇಂಟು ವಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಫ್ಲೈಯಿಂಗ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಮ್ಯಾನ್. ನಮ್ಮದು ಇದು 4 limb. Legs are called as hind limbs. So these are our 4 limbs. So same origin but function is different. Wings are used for flying in birds and we use hands for our activities, perform different activities. So same origin is there but different function are called as homologous organs. If you come to the second one, analogous organs are the one which have different origin but same functions, is called analogous organs in body. Example, wings of insect and wings of birds. Or bat also you can say, bat, bavali anta kehತಾರೆ, bat, flying mammal. Okay, so wings of insect and wings of birds. Wings of insect are not 4 limbs. They are arranged from different parts of the body. Prothorax, meso, metathorax. Origin different ide. Wings of birds are 4 limbs, you know. So different origin but function is same. Function is they are used for flying. Wings of insects also used for flying. Wings of birds also used for flying. But they are same function. Once again I repeat, they are same function but different origin are called analogous organs. So homologous are same origin, different function. Analogous organs are having same function but different different origin are called as analogous organs. Okay, next one, evolution by stages. So see children, it's a big chapter. It is very easy. Many of you don't like, I think, this chapter, heredity and evolution. You may think, oh, ಏನು ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಇದೆ ಇದು ಅಂತ ಅನಿಸ್ತಿರ್ಬೋದು ನಿಮಗೆ, ಬಟ್ ನೀವು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಇಸ್ ದೇರ್. ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್, ಎವಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಬೈ ಸ್ಟೇಜಸ್. Evolution by stages, very important chapter from exam point of view. Okay, evolution by stages. Now I told you the meaning of evolution. It is a slow and gradual process taking place in the environment, isn't it? So it takes huge millions of years for evolution or evolving any particular character. Now evolution by stages, see, now I have seen the first generation. There are some characters which are transferred into second generation. First generation, again second generation, again third generation, again fourth generation. Now we will take up to, if you come 10,000th generation, characters alli ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ. So huge number of characters are there, or totally different characters are there which are not present in these one. ಯಾಕೆ ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಬಂತು ಅಂದರೆ ಟೈಮ್ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಆಫ್ಟರ್ millions of years different characters are being present in the environment, in the organisms. That is called as evolution, you know that. So by stages, by taking an example of planaria. It is a flatworm. Example of Platyhelminthes phylum ನೀವು ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡಿ 9th ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿ, ಅಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಅನಿಮಲ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಪ್ಲೆನೇರಿಯಾ ಅಂತೇಳಿ. ಓಕೆ, ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ rudimentary eyes. rudimentary ಅಂತಂದರೆ, ಸಿ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಐಸ್ ಆರ್ ಐಸ್ ಆರ್ ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಫಾರ್ ಸೀಯಿಂಗ್. ಈಗ ನಮಗೆ ಕಣ್ಣು ನೋಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ವಿ, ಬಟ್ ಸಿನ್ಸ್ ದ ಟೈಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಎವಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ದ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಐ ಈ ಥರ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಈಗೇನು ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಣ್ಣು ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ವ ಆ್ಯನಿಮಲ್ಸ್ದು, ಆ ಥರ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಅರ್ಲಿಯರ್ ದ ಐ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ವಾಸ್ ಟೋಟಲಿ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್. ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಫಾರ್ ಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ಗನ್. ಸೊ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ಗನ್ಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಐಸ್, ಇಯರ್ಸ್, ನೋಸ್, ಟಂಗ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸ್ಕಿನ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದೀಸ್ ಐಸ್ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ. There were so many characters, so many changes took place during the time of evolution. So earlier, eyes function was only for sensing of light sense ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಿತ್ತು in these animals. rudimentary ಅಂತಂದರೆ not completely, they cannot see the organisms completely clear like we human beings see. Just rudimentary ಅಂದರೆ just a kind of sense you can say. They can just only sense the light. ಇದು ಯಾವಾಗ millions of years ago. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, we have this complex eyes. See children, evolution is a process. ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ ಎವ್ರಿ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ದೇರ್ ಈಸ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್. ಎವ್ರಿ ಹಂತದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರಲ್ಲಿ, ನಮ್ಮ ಆರ್ಗನ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಎವಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಬೈ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಗಿವ್ಸ್ ಅಸ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಆ್ಯನ್ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್. ಓಕೆ, ಬಟ್ if you come to man or human beings, you can't say that man is the most complex organism, right? In terms of evolution, ಅಂದರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರಾಣಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ನಾವೇ ಶ್ರೇಷ್ಠ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ವಿ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ more complex. We can't say we are more complex because there are so many other organisms which have different high quality vision in their eyes. ನಮಗಿಂತ ಇನ್ನೂ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಪ್ರಾಣಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ವಿಷನ್ ತುಂಬ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ನಾವೇ ಶ್ರೇಷ್ಠ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಎವಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಡಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಮೀನ್ ದಟ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಡಾಮಿನೆಂಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಒನ್ ಇಸ್ ರಿಸೆಸಿವ್. ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ ಸೋ ಮೆನಿ ಅದರ್ ಆ್ಯನಿಮಲ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ವಿಚ್ ಆರ್ ಮೋರ್ ಡಾಮಿನೆಂಟ್ ದೆನ್ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಬೀಯಿಂಗ್ಸ್. ಥಿಂಕಿಂಗ್ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿ we have more, but the different organs which are more functioning better than man. So man is not a complex organism. We are also in the process of evolution only. There are so many other animals which are having more complex eyesight, you can say, for example. So man is not a complex animal, you can say. Not only man, there are so many other organisms which are having still more better organs than human beings. Eyes, ನಮಗಿಂತ ಇನ್ನು ಬೇರೆ ಪ್ರಾಣಿಗಳದ್ದು ಕಣ್ಣು ತುಂಬ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ತುಂಬ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಿಂದ ಕಾಣಿಸುತ್ತೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ. ಸೊ ವಿ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲೆಕ್ಸ್. ನಾವೇ ಶ್ರೇಷ್ಠ, ನಾವೇ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲೆಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ in evolution process, man is not only a complex organism. There are so many other animals which have evolved different organs in their body. There is example by stages. Next, coming to existence of feathers ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್. existence of feathers. existence of feather, ಪುಕ್ಕೆಗಳು. Feathers, you know, in animals, body is covered by feathers in birds. So earlier that dinosaurs also had feathers, but not for flying. But dinosaurs do not fly. But what is the use of those feathers in dinosaurs? For thermoregulation, controlling their body temperature. And birds, it is used for flying. Wings, feathers regulate their body temperature. This is how they evolved characters. So evolution should not be a process equated with process. Is evolution a process? Yes, it is a slow and gradual process taking place in the environment. So this is all about plants, animals, how they evolved. What about human evolution? How we humans evolved. At the end of this chapter, one concept ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಏನಂತಂದರೆ human evolution. We discussed about plants, animals, insect, beetle, elephant, ಎಲ್ಲರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ. What about humans? What about human evolution? How humans evolved. We said that ನಿಮ್ಮ ತಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಎಲ್ಲರ ತಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ we are evolved from chimpanzee. No, it's not so. There is one ancestor. ಯಾವುದೊಂದು ಪ್ರಾಣಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಆ್ಯನ್ಸೆಸ್ಟರ್ ಅಂತ ಪೂರ್ವಜರು. ಅದರಿಂದ ಯಾರು ಬಂದಿರ್ತಾರೆ? ಚಿಂಪ್ಯಾನ್ಸಿ ಬಂದಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದರಿಂದ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ಸ್ ಬಂದಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದರಿಂದ ಏಪ್ಸ್ ಬಂದಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಮಂಕೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ಏಪ್ಸ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಕಾಮನ್ ಆ್ಯನ್ಸೆಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್. Our ancestors and these monkey, chimpanzee, apes ancestors are common. We share common ancestors. We are not evolved from chimpanzee or monkey. We are evolved from one particular ancestor which are sharing the similar characters. We have common ancestors. We have ancestors in common. Now, what about human evolution? Human evolution first originated in Africa. South Africa, North Africa is there in the history or in evolution. If you study in the books, it is given Africa ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Now we observe people different races. Okay, some have fair skin color, some are Negroes, right? Skin color varies from one person to from one country to another country. Why is it so? Why there is so much variation in the skin color or the race? Race ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. It is called as races. Because of their climatic condition or weather, means they were separated by geographical isolation by different continents. They were separated and settled there itself. They never migrated from one place to another place. So they were settled there. ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಸೆಟಲ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಟ್ರು. ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಜನ ಓಡಾಡ್ತಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಆವಾಗ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ. Now what happened? They settled there only, remained there only, and they reproduced there, continued the generation from one generation to another generation. The genes continued. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ. So genes are not transferring. So there are so much of different races are there. The Negroes are there, more fair people are also there, wheatish color also, we Indians are wheatish color. So why so much variation? Because of the geographical condition, weather condition, climatic conditions. So humans evolved from Africa. It means that we are not different, only skin color is different, but our ancestors, we are all same. We are only one species called as Homo sapiens. Due to our weather condition or our lifestyle, races has been changed since time of evolution, but we are all same only, belonging to one species called Homo sapiens. Our ancestors are common, then they later settled in different parts of the world, in different continents, and continents formed, that is different. Countries are formed, that is secondary. So we have common ancestors, that with chimpanzee and monkeys. This is how the humans evolved. So this is all about the chapter concept called as evolution. So today we discussed about the meaning of evolution. What is the meaning of evolution? Slow and gradual process. Then coming to, we have seen some concept like geographical isolation, how evolution took place by geographical isolation, artificial selection, natural selection, genetic drift, by taking examples of beetles. Then coming to, we had seen homologous analogous organs with examples, evolution by stages with example of planaria, and then coming to wild cabbage in plants, how different species are produced by artificial selection. Then coming to human evolution, how humans evolved. So this is very easy chapter, don't make it more complicated. It is a very easy concept if you understand genetics and evolution, that is heredity and evolution. So here completes the chapter, notes will be given to you. You go to the definitions, very important definitions like phenotype, genotype, monohybrid, dihybrid. Human evolution will be asked in the examination. What are homologous and analogous organs? Explain speciation. What is speciation? Speciation is the formation of new species from the older ones. How new species are formed? By artificial selection, by natural selection, by geographical isolation, by genetic drift. These are called as speciation, formed by evolution of different stages. So this is all about the chapter called as heredity and evolution. Thank you.